Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. I'm Mike Amos. He's Jeffrey Bennett. Is that right?
That's right. How you doing,
Hoss
Mike?
Daddy. Ladies and gentlemen, if any don't say Hoss Daddy this morning on our show, believe you me, you don't want it. But he's talking about Sanders Truck Lines of Troy, Alabama. We're coming to you live on Facebook this morning across the country and throughout the world. And of course, right now, those big trucks are moving, aren't they?
They bumping some docks right now.
now.
But you know what I want to talk about, Mike? Our dog kennel. Don't you have animals?
Yeah.
We have one of the nicest dog kennels.
You mean for the drivers or what?
For the driver to put his pet in.
While he's gone.
No. Let's hurry up, big step.
Okay.
While he's there. We had so much trouble with guys coming to the yard, and you may need your oil changed, you may need a little something done. Yeah. And what you do in that case is you go to this kennel, you put the dog in the kennel, we got water there, we got shade over it, and then you can just go around and do what you got to do in the yard, and your dog is there safe.
Yeah.
It's just a lovely thing. It was thought up by Mr. Sanders' wife, Stephen Sanders' wife. She thought about it.
Now we know the rest of the story.
Now we know the rest of the story. But once again, Wally Sanders has stepped out and did something that
I get him. Don't worry.
Can't nobody else do, and that just makes me happy.
Yeah, I bet it does. And of course, Hoss Daddy is on the show today, representing a great company, Sanders Truck Lines, and of course of Troy, Alabama, and people out west this morning. Whether or not it's storming, in the Midwest and it's clearing up down here. Y'all on the road, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
You're on Today in L.A. How you doing this morning?
Hi, morning.
You're on the line with Hoss Daddy, Mike. He's telling it like it is, and also Pike County Ford on the bypass.
I like that.
But
I didn't figure anybody would show up after the Super Bowl last night.
I know.
Why?
Why do you think everybody lost all their money, or what? What do you think?
I would imagine a lot of people were crying if they had the over. I know I would have been.
That's what I was telling you.
What was the over/under last night, Mike?
56.5.
Boy, oh boy. Man, that wasn't even close, was it?
Wasn't even close.
What was the line? What was the line?
That was the lowest scoring Super Bowl maybe of all time.
2.
Patriots are 2.
Yeah. I tell you what.
2.5 or 2. It depends where you got to go.
You know what it looked like to me? All these quarterbacks have a radio in their helmet. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know that they get the signal from the coordinator across the way. The quarterback's the only one to get it.
Yeah.
It looked like the other team had their phone in their helmet. It looked like New England knew exactly what the Rams were going to do, Mike.
You know what it looked like to me?
What?
It looked like Brady was like Wilder Sanders. He knows the pass.
He sure did. He sure did. And he probably played his worst game. And of all the 6 championships that he's won, I believe he probably played his worst game statistically. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Well, he's kind of limited. He's really got only one receiver, Edelman, that he throws the ball to. And, Grant, they double team him a lot. I tell you what, Michelle from Georgia looked good last night.
Yeah, running back, no question.
I tell you, he played a great game, and he was injured, didn't play in the Super Bowl last year. Was Dante Hightower?
Oh yeah,
he did.
Hightower's a great player. He's hard nosed, man.
How old is he now, Mike? A Hightower.
He's been in the pros for 8 years. He's won 3 Super Bowls now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how big is he, Mike? About 6'4", 6'5"? He's a big guy, I know that.
6'4", about 245.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of injuries. I don't look for him to stay much longer.
Well, yeah, he got that big max contract. He was down to the Steelers and the Patriots and re-signed with the Patriots, and he's made millions. So he's made enough money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he the one that stayed in trouble, or who's the guy, that linebacker at Alabama that stays in trouble all the time? Is that him, or is it Buddy?
Hightower's first-class guy.
No. Who's the guy?
About number 10,
who's the guy?
You're talking about Reuben Foster.
Yeah, Reuben Foster, but it's another one that stays in fights all the time.
You're talking about McLean. He's out of the league.
Oh, boy, McLean had everything in the world going for him too. He was one of the great linebackers, but he couldn't stay out of fights off the.
Is he completely out of the league? Huh?
What Michael said.
He's been out of the league. Yeah. You talking about Orlando McLean?
Yeah, and he was in the same mold though as this other guy, the great one,
Well, Hightower plays defensive end too. You can move him down to rush the passer. He's a really good athlete.
Yeah, he does good.
Well, I tell you what, I was coming back and I listened to most about the first quarter, and then when I got home, I watched the rest of the game, and it really did look like the New England knew what they were going to do, or were listening to the same mic that the quarterback was listening to.
It was a great game, Mike. I wanted to tell you, make sure I told you this before I left this morning. We also need some mechanics at Wireless Sanders Truck Line.
That are certified.
Certified mechanics. We got a state-of-the-art shop.
Yeah.
I mean, we can rebuild engines. If you have if there's a mechanic out there that specializes in building engines, we got that. We got just basically mechanic stuff, little stuff need doing.
We're talking about big.
We got a dyno.
Yeah. We're talking about big time income too, aren't we?
Oh yeah, big time.
Y'all pay y'all mechanics good money, don't
Top
you?
pay.
Yeah.
And you talk about pay. I am so proud of Mr. Stephen Sanders, because now when I go to a school, it's nothing. I can tell any trucking company, any shop or mechanic, lay your package on the table, and I'll lay mine on the table. And we just got ourselves up. We're among the highest paying truck lines. We got new equipment. We got our own freight, and that is the most important thing, having your own freight. If the wheels don't run, you don't make no money.
That's exactly right.
And we got our own freight. You know what they said? Let's recycle it.
Recycle it. Yeah, exactly right.
I knew you wanted to say that.
Yeah, that little boy. When they want to know what they're going to do, all those plastic cases that the batteries came in. They started stacking them up. Some little guy in the back says, "Let's recycle them." Kenny got a kick out of that last time I talked to him about that. But it's the truth. Somebody came up with ideas, and that's what the business is made of. Will that idea enhance the progress of this company, or enhance the development of this country?
Well, people that get to be mine and your age, we realize that if you're working for a company, as long as you got something to do, people don't realize that, but it's true. As long as you got something to do, everybody gets a check, no matter what position you're in. If you're a recruiter, if you're a truck driver, if you're a mechanic, if you're a dispatcher, long as your company got something to do and you're doing a good job, everybody makes money.
No question about it. And like you said, wherever the wheels are rolling, the name you'll hear the most, the name you hear is Sanders Trucking, where the rubber meets the road. Isn't that right?
I tell you what, with all the road construction in downtown Birmingham, they shut down 2059 for the next 14 months. I'm sure y'all had to reroute a lot of trucks.
We go around. What are they doing?
They're just, basically doing stuff they should have done 20 years ago.
Is that downtown though, Mike? Is that the Red
totally
Mountain
shut down?
Expressway?
Yeah.
That goes by the hospital.
2059, which drives right through downtown Birmingham, is totally shut down for 14 months.
Oh man.
So everybody's having to get on 459 now.
Yeah, and which goes near your house. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now,
So
the Red Mountain Expressway is the road we're talking about, isn't
You
it?
could go 280 Red Mountain Expressway, but that traffic's already.
That's the one that goes right by St. Vincent's Highway. Isn't that right? And St. Vincent's the hospital. Is that right?
But then when you try to turn, left on 2059 to go to Tuscaloosa, or go get on 65, you can't do that anymore. All that's shut down.
So everything now is going to come up 65 now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's going to overload 65. Is there any way to bypass Birmingham now? Is that going to, anybody Birmingham North is going to run into some traffic problems, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe take old 31, but it'd take forever.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did it at this time of the year. Look like they would have did it in the cold month.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, it seemed like you would have tried to do it at night or something, not the whole day.
No question about it. Hoss Daddy's in the house, ladies and gentlemen, and we're talking about Sanders Truck Lines of Troy, Alabama. whether you're listening to us in Montana or New Mexico or New York City, we're coming straight through to you on Facebook or Troy Cable, or they call it TC2. TC2. You can get it on your regular dial.
Yeah, I watched you live in Enterprise doing the Charles Henderson games Friday night.
Hey, did you see that shooter from Enterprise? He made 7 3-pointers. Enterprise High School.
I guess the Charles Henderson Lady Trojans blew out Enterprise, and then the Enterprise men blew out Charles Henderson.
Well, evidently, they made the girls made the Troy Charles Henderson girls made the Enterprise boys mad, beating the girls like they did. So they went ahead and beat the boys like our girls beat their girls. And of course, she just, bless her heart, she's bored out there. I can tell. Mike Davenport is just downright bored. She's so much better than everybody else. She's just bored. You can tell. If they want to score, they get into it. She scores. But half the time, she throws it off somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
She's so unselfish.
So unselfish.
You know, this time a year ago, we had
those
girls out at your place of business on Montgomery Street.
We did. We fed them, and you came out.
And that was one of the nicest programs we've ever done. And those kids are really, really talented, aren't they?
And if they win it again this year, we're gonna have them back again.
That would be great. Exactly. This time,
the day you climbed up in the truck.
That's right. That's right.
Automatic.
Hey, I climbed in the truck, just minding my own business, turned to my left, and there was a camera sticking right in my face.
Mike, he could have drove off. He when he found out it was automatic, I had to talk him into not driving.
I see him drive that truck. That's been worth it.
Now, let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen, a new era in the truck driving business, and of course Sanders is right in the middle of all of it, is automatic transmission. You're getting now where an 18-year-old can go in and drive one of those trucks.
Yeah, but you got to be 21. But let me say this to you. Our boss is just, you hear me call his name all the time and say things about him. It's because it's just true. Yeah. I always speak to him about what I say because, people listen to what I say, so I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. And we was talking, I'm talking about Stephen Sanders, and we was talking one day, and I told him, I say, now, is it safe to say what I'm saying? I said, I'm saying that I feel like in the next 5 years we'll be all automatics. And he kind of looked like his dad and shook his head. He said, yeah. He said, but if I have a driver, how many companies would think, this is what family only gets you. He said, but if I have a driver that's been with us a long time and he wants a manual shift, he said, we'll buy him a manual shift. I thought that was just pretty big because you think about it. If you got a 700 automatics and you got maybe 50 manual shift, you're going to have a whole parts line,
Is it getting that way now? I mean, is the trucking industry gone now to automatic transmission?
Most people.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. And it's because they're good. Yeah. I mean, they're so convenient. Nobody could believe that you could design something like that. But
I'm not saying that women, and I don't know if I'm touching the right
I'm going to fix it if you do.
Right button or not. But a lot of women now have I would think most of them would like to have an automatic transmission over a stick shift. And most of the young people today, I'm not just hitting on women, but it gives women a bigger opportunity, a better opportunity to drive a big truck. Don't you think?
It just is what it is. Most of our ladies, they like the automatic.
Sure.
But let me say this. The male drivers that we have, I'm talking about guys that's been there 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And we give them automatic, and with a guy like that, we always say, well, look, you take this automatic, your truck going to be sitting right here, you call and say, do you want this? Nobody has bought an automatic back and say, hey, I don't want this.
I know, that's amazing. And, of course, these are the finest trucks known to men, is that right?
They are. And, I mean, really, when you say that, that is a big statement, but a true statement. You got our double team trucks. We make sure they have double sleepers.
Yeah.
They got double sleepers in them, air conditions, APRs on them. That's where you can turn the truck off, but you can still have air conditioning, radio.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we make the truck as comfortable as we can.
And a lot of them probably
So when you say double sleepers, does that mean separate compartments?
That means
separate beds.
Separate beds. You got 2 beds in there instead of 1.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was like a separate door you went in on each.
No. What I'm saying is it's a bump and then it's a bunker. Yeah. It's like a double bed. A bump bed, excuse me.
Let me ask you a very personal question, House Daddy. Were many of your drivers able to stay in the truck and watch the game last night?
If they wanted to.
I mean, on television.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they have their own TV.
And they'd be able to pick that game up. Is that right?
And now we don't punish that.
Oh, yeah.
But we hook it up. That's up to the driver. But what we do is, everybody's got their little gadgets.
Yeah.
Just like your grandkids got little games. Yeah. Well, drivers are the same way. They got their little gadgets. They got their little satellite. And all we ask them to do, bring it to the shop. Let us hook it up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay.
Let us hook it up. If you buy you a satellite, if you buy you something that runs off power, you have a lot of guys that get them a refrigerator.
Yeah.
You bring your refrigerator, bring it to the shop, we'll install it.
Yeah,
wherever you want it, however you want.
Free?
Free.
Free.
Free. That's the magical word. Free. And these mechanics that we're trying to get, I'm pretty sure we got 2 shifts open. We run a day shift and we run a night shift. Now, our supervisor for the mechanics, Terry Mack.
Oh, yeah, love him.
Good
friend
retired,
of mine, yeah.
But it's Dwayne Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I've been knowing this guy for years. Real nice guy, real fair guy. Everybody wants to work in an atmosphere where you feel comfortable.
Sure.
And this is the kind of guy this is. You can just go up to him and
Terry was the same way.
Same way.
In the same mold.
Same mold. And we're going to always keep our equipment at the best top set.
Am I getting too personal here with Sanders Truck Lines and saying what kind of salary are we looking at for a mechanic with this experience?
Probably $80,000 a year.
What?
I'm guessing.
To work on a truck, $80,000 a year.
I'm pretty sure.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
That's pretty good living right there.
But I can tell you what you can do.
I can tell you what Alabama.
I can tell you what you do. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Who would have thought in 2019 that you could make that kind of money in Troy, Alabama?
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Who would have thought that?
Hey, let me tell you, that's a very good salary with all the benefits.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. We matched that up to 4%.
Which is fabulous.
And the per diem plan, and I know a lot more about that now. Let me say this to you. It took me a little while to figure it out, and I had to keep reading it. But
and per diem is expenses that a driver might incur. Right?
But the federal government says that if you have this, if we're going to give you this tax breaks, you have to have a private provider. We went out and hired a private provider, which goes through our satellite. And all you do is just punch in your numbers. It's no more added work to you, but it's added pay to you.
Yeah.
It's added pay to you because it ain't no question. When you went out of town this night, yes I was. Look at my logs. Sanders sent them in to you. They do it, then they send it to you, then you send it off. You can't beat it.
And that, and if you're gonna work for a first class organization, that's what makes it a first class organization.
That's what things like that. Going out there and going the extra mile.
Amenities, as you use that word, amenities to your employees.
To your employees, and the 401k. Who would not want somebody
That's right.
I mean, 4% of your gross pay.
Exactly.
Just put in there free.
Exactly.
I mean,
hey, if it
no reason not to sign up.
If it doesn't go to you, you know who it goes to? Uncle Sam.
That's right.
So that's great. Did the shutdown affect Sanders much?
I imagine it affects some trucking, some of the buildings, some of the stuff. I wouldn't exactly know, so I'm not going to say. I think it affected all of America.
It did. It did. And I know he was trying to do the right thing, but gosh, it cost the country billions of dollars.
It did.
And but again, ladies and gentlemen, Sanders Truck Lines of Troy, Alabama wants you to be a part of their team, and it is a great team.
How does that work if you're starting out, say you're adventurous and you want to see the country? I mean, could you go to California every couple of weeks and go out west to Montana and Idaho, places like that, or do you have a assigned route once you start? How's that work?
Let me tell you what we do. We got 14 or 15 dispatchers, and then we have what we call load coordinators. I think we have 6 of them, and I'm just guessing at these numbers, but all of them got an area. Midwest, Southwest, all of them got an area. and say I'm just going to use the name, say you're Mike and you drive truck 7728, and you like California. Well, it's going to be put in the computer that you like California. And every time we get Californians, you're going to go. Do you know how many retired people we have that retired from the Army, some of them police officers, they retire, they go right up there to Trenton, and I brag on that school, right up there to Trenton in Montgomery.
That's right.
Learn how to drive a truck. I just saw a husband and wife do it. And they come here, got their training, and now they just see in the country. Like you said, Mike, they just see and getting paid for it.
And something else, too, you're going to be reimbursed for what it cost you to go to school.
That is exactly right.
Which is another first-class product of standard.
And, you know, we got these companies, and I can say this, I'm not going to call no names, but we do not do it, and my boss told me we're never going to do it. That is, they'll pay your tuition, but they'll make you sign a contract.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to stay with them a year or 2 years.
Like they got a hold on you.
They got a hold on you.
Yeah.
But we feel well enough about our company, we'll pay your tuition, and we'll pay up to $150 a month on it, up to $2,800 till we get it paid off, and you stay. If you decide you want to leave, we stop paying the tuition. You go your way, we go our way.
Yeah.
But we know once you come, you're not going nowhere.
That's right.
It's a lovely work environment, what I'm saying.
Well, of course, classy. Now, look at this blazer this guy's got on. How many truck driving companies have a guy that come in here as classy looking as this guy is? And, ladies and gentlemen, I've known this guy a long time, and every time I mention your name, and I was with Kenny not long ago, and everybody says just great things about you, how well you represent your company that you work for.
You know, and you know what makes that easy, Mike? I love where I work at.
Sure.
I love what my boss has did for this town. I love Troy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I tell people all the time, if I hit the lottery, I ain't got to go nowhere. I've been all over the world. I'm just going to lay right out there and run out Bridge Road and fix things up and get up and go to work here.
And let me tell you, that company, and from the lead business to the trucking business to the plastic business to the all the other products of Sanders Company, has enhanced the welfare of a lot of thousands and thousands of people in Pike and surrounding counties.
Think about it. We got fathers, we got sons, we got daughters, just regeneration coming out there. What we got, the two Rose brothers?
Yeah, exactly. The Rose brothers. I coached both of them.
Okay, they've been there for years.
Herbie Davis.
Now Charles Rose.
Charles Rose
is in dispatch. You got Bobby Brown, just the president.
Yeah.
Real
good friend of mine, Bobby Brown, and he speaks very highly of you too.
Yeah, that's my friend. I remember Bobby when he was in college.
And of course, you know, it's a oneness. You know, we talk about oneness. You know, people all together. You know, you know, a company that has oneness. That hey, nobody's concerned about who made it happen. It's a company deal. It's oneness. You know, they. What I'm saying. You don't have to go around bragging about who did what to make the company great. It's all about a teamwork.
I watch a lot of things, and I've seen him do it several times because I was going to do it if he didn't do it, but I never got the chance if I've been behind him. I saw District Cocker, which is one of our CEOs. I saw him go out that gate, and a driver be standing out there going up to the store at the end of the road.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them will walk up there. And you know what he rides?
Yeah, I know what he rides.
He'll pull over and pick that driver up. Now, I can say this out loudly. How many companies that the drivers know the president?
Yeah, exactly.
See him in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Campbell, you see it.
Oh, yeah, no question.
You see him out,
let me tell you something.
And they, hey, what's going on? How you doing?
He's as laid back as you can get as far as an individual, and everybody loves him. And, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, people that care about their employees, and everybody works as a unit. You know, nobody's concerned about who's going to get credit for what, as long as the job's done.
And we get a check.
How's y'all's pet kennel going? I know y'all were.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Mike. Hey, listen, you just mashed a button from somewhere. Somebody call you in and say, talk about that.
Mike, it is one of the best things we've did in a long time. Let me tell you, sometimes an issue turns out to be a great thing. You got mechanics. Everybody's not a dog lover. I'm gonna be honest.
Sure.
Everybody's not a dog lover. Well, you got mechanics that like don't want to work on the truck if the guy's got his dog there. Well, then you got a driver that may not like a dog.
Hey, I agree. If I reach in there and get bit on the hand, you're right. I don't want to do that.
So you got a driver that's at the driver lounge, and so he don't want a little spot in there. So there you got that going on.
Now
So,
you know the rest of the story.
But we built this kennel. You know, it was state of the art.
Exactly.
You know, it's classic.
Yeah.
We built this kennel, built stalls in it. And drivers love it. They can go there, they can put their dog in it, we got water going to it, and everything is just nice. And then he can go on, do his little paperwork, or whatever he needs to do, and he ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
And it was just the thing to do. It was just the thing to do. And when we made the commercial, as I say, and it's true, at Wireless Animals, we not only care about the driver, but we care about your fuzzy friend, too.
Well, you know, and a lot of people can't leave that pet at home. And of course, you know, somebody going. I can see right now somebody going to work and fixing to sign the contract saying, "Oh, excuse me, can my dog ride on the truck with me?" You know,
but you ever looked at a truck with these dogs in them? I mean, I don't know how these guys get them to do it, but they be sitting up in there and they be looking around like, you know, let's go.
You really probably don't have a large number of people that do.
You don't. But you have a number large enough that you have to have facilities for.
Exactly.
You got to have the facilities.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it is a.
How did it work for y'all? I mean, I know this has been a while back when Hurricane Michael hit. Did that have to factor in a lot of different routes and drop-offs? I mean.
Yeah, it did, and I tell you what.
Back up now, or what's going on down there?
Oh, it's picking back up, but I tell you what we did, Mike. We had a lot of stuff down there. Troy, the community just pulled together. We had a couple of 18-wheelers down there with water and stuff, and I have to just thank our community. Pike County, I've seen us do it. I've seen my boss do it. Now I see Stephen coming right behind him doing the same time.
And his wife, what a wonderful person she is.
If you ask for help, the answer is yes. I've never been involved in nothing with them that they didn't do just all they could do. And that's what makes people love.
And it all goes back to the man himself, Wiley Sanders.
It does.
How many things, how many hundreds and maybe thousands of things that he done for the public that they don't know anything about.
And that's
that
why
he
he
did.
wanted it. And that's why he
exactly.
wanted it.
And he has given back to his community like nobody ever has.
Yeah. And you know, my daddy showed me something years ago, and I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. If I ball up my fist, you can't stick nothing in my hand. But if I open my hand,
Exactly.
So Mr. Wiley opens his hand and stuff comes back, and he sends stuff out.
Yeah, it reminds me of this.
Nothing else but a job.
Hey, it reminds me of this right here, and of course you're a man of faith just like this. Here's the church, and here's the steeple, and where are all the which one of these people is you? How many times you go back with that?
That's pretty good.
And of course, you're a Christian.
Oh yes.
Hey, you were in the house of the Lord yesterday, I would think.
Yeah, they done got me teaching Sunday school. I said, pray for me. Pray for me.
That's the kind of guy you're dealing with. And of course, we appreciate so much what Sanders Company does for our community, and we're so grateful that we've got people like you that get out. And of course, jobs available if you want to work in a quality environment with a 5-star company.
Yeah, and let me say this before I go, because I got to go to a safety meeting.
But you got to be 21, don't you?
Yeah. But young men, young ladies, please, ma'am, please, sir, if you drive a truck and you get a ticket over 15 miles an hour, it is bad.
Yeah.
It is bad. If you get a DUI, find you another profession.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's as serious as I can make it. I can't do it no other way.
That's for whether or not you work for Sanders
Me
now
or
or hope to go to work for them one day.
When I go to a class, I just think it's just in my heart to tell these guys, especially these young guys, I tell them, I say, okay, you may have sport cars and you may do this and that. You have chose a great profession, but your CDL is your job, and you can't play games
And you
with
said
it.
15 miles an hour
If
over
the speed limit is 70 and you running 86, you're in trouble.
Yes.
15 miles over, they count that as just like a reckless driving almost on a truck.
Do you lose your job with Sanders, or you can't get a job with Sanders?
It's just hard to get a job. It's hard for us to look at the insurance company and say we want you. I'm not telling you you can't get a job.
It's very important, though.
But I can say this to the truck driver, and I think it's just fair to say it because I feel like my company speaks for itself. If you got a CDL and you got a good record, you can go anywhere to work this morning. Yeah. But I'd rather have you.
Exactly right.
And I'm gonna
how
pay
do
you
they
more.
get in touch with you?
We can get in touch with us 1-800-392-1530. Or you can call me if it's after hours, or you can call me during hours, 334-372-5049.
All right, the number is 392-1530. That's to the main number. And your personal number is that?
334-372-5049.
5049. And House Daddy will answer that phone. Is that right?
I will. Mike, it was good to talk to you, man. Well, I'm just waiting on football season to come. What do you think about our new head coach before I get out of here?
Mike?
You talking about Coach Lindsey?
Yeah, the new one.
I like him.
Yeah. I think it's a really good hire. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those situations where you're coming into a program that's got great success, and hopefully you can, continue what Neil Brown did.
Yeah. Let me tell you a place where you need to be Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Wednesday night in the Stadium Club. You can meet Coach Chip Lindsey and his entire staff. He's going to introduce his entire staff. Then they're going to turn around and tell you who they recruited, and they're going to have it up on the video of the players that they recruited, and it's all free to the public. And we've got food, and it's going to be a great gathering of Troy people. All right, that'll be Wednesday at the Stadium Club.
What time?
6 o'clock. I want to say right at 6 or 6:30, but be there around 6 o'clock. And it's going to have food and fellowship and all kinds of opportunities to meet and talk to the coaches and then see footage of the recruits that we signed.
That'll be good.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It was
good to see you, my friend,
good to
always.
See you.
And, of course, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Sanders Truck Lines in Troy, Alabama wants you, and you can call them today at 392-1530, 392-1530. And say, I want to talk to somebody about going to work, recruiting. Or you can call this number right here and talk to this man right here, straight up, 372-5049, 372-5049. House Daddy, Jeffrey Bennett, my very good friend.
Thank you,
You add class to the program, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Joel Williams in just 1 minute.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save for your future.
When you were handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile. You saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Back to our show. Appreciate Hoss Daddy coming, alias Jeffrey Bennett. And, of course, Joel Williams, my good friend, is here with us today. And, of course, he represents the Pike County, or the Troy Arts Council.
Troy Arts Council.
And tell us, first of all, the people that I talked to that saw the piano program said, I didn't think I would ever sit down and for over an hour and listen to somebody play the piano. But he said he could have sat out there 6 hours.
The guy's a magician. First of all, he's funny, he's entertaining, tells jokes, he interacts with the audience. And to see his hands move, and they had a video camera on the keyboard projected up on a screen. So if you were sitting out in the audience, you could see his hands move and hear this magnificent music coming out of this blur of his hands on the keyboard.
They were quick, weren't they?
Oh, unbelievable. And then he would talk and interact with the audience, and then he'd play this magnificent piece, and it was really
This was last week, and I just want to tell you what a quality performance it was. And how did it go over? Did everything go over real good?
Yeah, it was good. It was the audience was, of course, like every event, the attendance is not as much as I want, but in Long Haul, it was a cozy setting, and the acoustics were perfect, and he was wonderful and interacted with the audience. The audience.
There were some young people that had any idea in the world about wanting one day to play the piano and play it in a concert piano play or whatever. That would have been a good example to show them of what beautiful music comes from a Steinway piano.
And there were some young people there. Of course, students, high school, college, and some younger. So it was a great opportunity to expose your child to something unique like that.
No question about it. Now, tonight, right behind this performance, brings in Mandy Harvey, and there's quite a story to tell right here.
Yeah, let me tell you about Mandy Harvey. A lot of you may have heard of her. First of all, she was a finalist on America's Got Talent.
Oh, okay.
So she's got quite a following based on her performances on that TV show. But she was a young girl, 18, 19, 20 years old. She was a college student out at Colorado, I think Colorado State, and she developed a tissue disorder, and she lost her hearing. First of all, she was a music education major in college and lost her hearing. She is totally deaf.
Isn't that amazing?
And of course, after that life-altering experience, after a year or two, she decided, well, music was my first love. I'm going to go back and pursue it. So as a deaf person, she went back into the music field, and now she sings, she composes her own music, she performs, she's an inspirational speaker, and she's just a miracle.
Isn't that amazing? Now, does she have mechanical devices now to help her?
I don't know how she does it, Mike.
Coach Mark Smart was on our show Friday, and his son is deaf, and of course now, thank goodness for modern medicine, technology.
Yeah.
He's able to wear a device that helps him hear. But if he didn't have that device, he couldn't hear.
Right. I don't think she has anything like that. I think she's totally deaf. I think you have to have some residual hearing in order for those devices to work, and she lost her residual hearing. But nevertheless, and she can't hear the notes she's singing.
Yeah, I got you.
And I can't imagine it.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing too, and she was in that America's Got Talent.
Right, she was a finalist.
And it was no. she didn't, by her not being able to hear, didn't help her at all to be so successful.
No, I think
she learned it on her own, didn't she?
Yeah, you've got to be able to produce to get on that show and to get to the finalists.
Yeah.
She won, and I'm sorry, I don't watch that show, so I'm not familiar with it, but she won the Golden Buzzer Award. You know what, Mike? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, that means one of the judges automatically, when they push that button, they go through. They don't have to compete against the rest of the people that perform against that night. They're automatically
in on the second round or third round, whatever it was. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And who's the guy that runs the show? What's his name?
Yeah, the famous guy is the guy from American Idol, Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Who is that?
The guy that started American Idol, the judge that everybody loves to hate, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the one who gave her the Golden Buzzer Award. Anyway,
you got Howie Mandel's on it. You got Heidi Klum, the model, and then you got one of the Spice Girls or the judges.
Yeah.
It's a great show. I've watched it many times.
I've never seen it. If it's not Andy Griffith or a ball game, I'm probably not watching it.
And she's going to be here tonight. And will it be at the Claudia Crosby?
Claudia Crosby Theater, as you and I would say, Smith Hall Auditorium.
That's right.
Tonight at 7 o'clock. Claudia Crosby Theater. Tickets are available at the door, $20. Student tickets are $5, and that's any student. You can also get them online, TroyArtsCouncil.com, if you know how to do that kind of thing. If you go to TroyArtsCouncil.com, I think that's our website, and you can move around and click buttons and buy tickets that way.
And I bet if they walk in over toward Bird Drugs or Douglas Brothers or what's my great bakery there? Dolce. Hey, if you're walking toward that, your office is right there.
Come to my
you
office,
probably
I
could
have some
walk right
tickets.
in and buy tickets.
That's right. You can get them in my office or at the tourism office down there where Sheila Jackson works.
And this is a big-time singer. I'm going to be there. I tell you, Mandy Harvey tonight at 7 p.m. from the Crosby Theater. And again, this is another one of the great opportunities that Troy Arts Council provides for us. I call it culture. You know, that piano player.
That's what it's supposed to be.
You know, the people that sit there. Now, was anybody dressed up like you? Did you wear your tuck? Or?
No, I wore the suit that I'd worn to work that day.
But a lot of people in New York City, couple of weeks before, were at
Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall with their tucks and their tails, and they were eating hot dogs out
on Nathan's Hot Dogs. And when I introduced him, I said, 2 weeks ago he was at Carnegie Hall, but tonight he's at Long Hall.
That's right, exactly.
So he his career is on the upward, on the rise. He goes from Carnegie Hall to Long Hall.
And we're so fortunate to have that here in Troy, to have the opportunity for our children and for adults along to be experience this kind of great showmanship.
We have a good board of directors, and I would name them, but I'd leave somebody out. But we have a hardworking board of directors, and we meet monthly and plan these programs. And John Jenwright's our program chairman, and Alvin Sankey's our treasurer, Mary Williams and Bill Hopper, and Linda Dew is our secretary. She's worked hard for a long time. We have a great group of directors who work hard to try to make our community a better place.
All right, now is this part of the this year's programming?
Right.
And on down the line, what do we got coming?
All right, tonight, 7 o'clock, Mandy Harvey. Then the next program we have is March 7th, and we have the Second City Improv Troupe, live improvisational comedy. So
now give us an example of that.
Well, it's live comedy.
These are future people that go on Saturday Night Live.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Almost everybody who's on Saturday Night Live, Bill Murray and John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, all got their start in comedy with called Second City Improv Troupe. Second City is out of Chicago.
Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, all the greats were at Second City.
Steve Carell, Steve Colbert.
You know what? This is going to be, if you like to laugh.
That's something I would really enjoy.
This is big time now.
Oh, yeah. Listen, and the Second City Troupe is the feeder system. It's the farm club for Saturday Night Live. They probably wouldn't like for me to refer to it that
all
way,
of the great, like you said, all of the great great ones came through this type of program in Los Angeles and New York.
Right.
You know, they were called comedy clubs.
Right.
Your favorite of all time, Dad, John Belushi.
Belushi, oh, I love Belushi.
Yeah, and they all start out on Second City.
I love Belushi, and I love my big guy. What was my big guy's name that I like so much?
John Candy.
John Candy. Boy, I love John Candy.
Too.
Gosh, I wish he was still around.
And anyway, on March 7th, we'll have Second City Improv Troupe, and improv means that they're making it up as they go.
Yeah,
you know, it's not where they have a skit, a routine. They get up there and they feed off each other and they feed off the audience.
Exactly.
And improvisational comedy.
And this is going to be in March on the 7th.
And it'll be at Crosby Theater.
Yeah.
Now, let me say one thing. It says we are presenting a family-friendly show.
So it won't be any vulgarity.
Not supposed to be. Now they say, but due to spontaneous nature of improv, not all content may be appropriate for young children.
Exactly.
But their aim is to do family friendly.
Mike, who is the comedian now that's so popular that chews on the cigar and all that? And, he's coming to Montgomery or somewhere. I saw an ad.
Ron White?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ron White's been around for years.
Yeah, but now he's got a deal coming up too. So he probably went through this same
he
school.
He became famous with Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, he was at Jeff Foxworthy.
And I love Foxworthy too.
Blue comedy.
Yeah.
Blue collar comedy tour.
Out of Georgia, and of course, I believe that's where he came out of.
Yeah, I think
Georgia.
that they were the redneck version of Second City Improv, which is from Chicago.
Well, this is going to be a wonderful. This ought to be a sellout right here now.
It should be. Well, I'm telling you, the Mandy Harvey thing tonight, I think we'll have a real good crowd. We've been having a lot of calls, people who were familiar with her from being on TV, and they're like, "Oh, she was great. We want to come see her." So, if you want to see somebody who's been famous on television, she's been featured. They've done profiles of her on NBC News. Yeah. She's had a feature on CNN. You know, and
she's a great role model and example of somebody that's got a handicap can fulfill their dream still.
Yeah.
And boy, we're so fortunate to have an arts council that can bring us this kind of entertainment. John Jenright, boy, as talented as he is playing the piano. And somebody told me the other night, ladies and gentlemen, Troy University is a Steinway University now. That might not sound like a big to-do with you, but you go up into the circles of New York and Broadway and musicals across the country. Hey, in most instances, those big-time events are being played on Steinway pianos. Is that right?
Yeah, and a few years ago, the Arts Council partnered with the City of Troy and the university, and we leveraged some grants and bought this magnificent, the best in the world piano, and they bring it out on rare occasions at the university.
Troy, Alabama could be considered a Steinway city.
Yeah. University and the Arts Council and the City of Troy. You know how you get a grant, and it says, well, if you match it, we'll match it.
Yeah.
And so the Arts Council put up, and the city said, well, we'll put some with you, and the university did, which enabled us to. In other words, we got about 8 times the amount of money we put up. So we put in, $10,000. We're able to buy an $80,000 piano.
Oh man, that's something. And at the same time, it makes me feel proud because you're watching TV and you're watching all these great piano players, that entertain the world and so forth. Yeah. In most cases, the top piano out there would be Steinway that they play.
Listen, you could have a pianist from anywhere in the world come to Troy, Alabama, and if they saw the instruments we have available for them to play,
they would not turn their head with it.
No. Any place in Troy, Alabama has as fine instruments as any place anywhere in the world.
Isn't that amazing? Of course, Troy University takes great pride in all of the piano. And of course, a lot of people are in school here. And one of the instruments they play is the piano, and they're playing the best. Is that right?
Yeah, and John Jenright, that was one of his projects. He's our program and grants chairman, and he's done a good job for a lot of years arranging these programs and applying for grants and getting to piano. And John has really done a lot of heavy lifting for the Arts Council and for this community. People need to know about the work that John Jenright's done.
This also goes back to something that a lot of people don't realize is course, this is a wonderful production, but why not take your favorite person out and have dinner, not like Mike would say, dinner, not dinner, but dinner, and then go to hear a first class.
I thought you always said it was supper.
Yeah,
supper.
That's right.
Well, that's what I say. I call it supper, but listen, when we start talking about
Well, listen, when you eat at home at night, it's supper.
Yeah.
And when you go out,
we're
it's
going
dinner.
out to dinner.
We're going out to dinner tonight.
But this would be a great opportunity. And did you know that a lot of people don't realize this? They could eat at the dining hall right there adjacent to Crosby Theater if they wanted to. It's open to the public. Did you know that?
No, I did. I've eaten there once or twice with group
And
meetings.
the food's good. The food's very good.
And that place is like a Taj Mahal.
That's right.
It doesn't-
Walk in there and have dinner tonight at 6 o'clock, and then join your friends over at 7 o'clock for the Mandy Harvey show.
And that is not how college students ate when I was in school.
Yeah, a little bit different saga.
A little bit
Mike,
different.
have you ever heard of Mandy Harvey before?
You know, I watched the show. I'll look her up. I'm sure I probably watched her on the show.
Of course, you know,
I've kind of got a feeling of what Joel's talking about. I think I've seen her before.
and she is really, really something.
And she's a pretty young lady, too.
And what kind of music does she sing?
You know, I don't know what her style of music is. We'll just have to go tonight and find out.
And Mike, and then of course we've got this coming to Troy tonight, and then in March we've got the other great production. And does that do it for the year, or do we move on?
That does it for our ticketed events. We have one more event, and I don't know the date, but it's one we have every year with the Southeast Alabama Community Band.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
And that kind of always is the finale show for the year.
And let me tell you something. If somebody could tell me that in that performance that Dr. Johnny Long would conduct the Stars and Stripes Forever,
Yeah.
I just love his rendition of that.
Yeah, he did that last year,
Oh,
and it
man.
just just seeing Dr. Long
He
on the
owns
stage.
that song, I promise you. And it's one of the great songs, the Stars and Stripes.
Didn't he have a birthday recently?
Yeah, he did. And of course, I see him almost every Tuesday, and I can't help but tell him this. I hope that he's alive and well and feeling good, that he would conduct that song in front of the group this year.
It was great last year when he did it, and one of the band members last year got a picture. All of us in the audience sitting there looking. You see the orchestra and Dr. Long up there directing. You see his back. Somebody in the band got a picture with their phone of Dr. Long facing,
Yes.
and with the audience in the back, and that was a great photo.
But I tell you what, you talk about a great one, and we brag and brag and brag about what we have here in Troy with Dr. Johnny Long.
What a legacy!
One of the greatest men I've ever known, and one of the great band masters of all time in America.
Listen, Charles Henderson and Johnny Long have probably have the two greatest legacies of anybody in Pike County.
Is that right? The other day when Coach Chip Lindsey spoke to the Rotary Club, and Dr. Long said, "I want to meet him. I want to meet him." So I helped sort of guide him up there, and he met the coach. And I told the coach, I said, "Listen, this is like shaking the hand of Babe Ruth."
Yeah, that's right.
Or shaking the hand of Tom Brady. I mean,
And Dr.
shaking the
Long-
hand of one of the greatest people that you'll ever meet anywhere.
And Dr. Long loves his football too.
Oh, he does.
Big
No
fan.
question. And of course, we're just proud that Dr. Johnny Long came our way, aren't we?
We're lucky, very lucky.
You know, he's
Called
one of
And
the-
football.
Mandy Harvey's on tour right now, so she'll be in Troy tonight. She'll be in Andalusia tomorrow night, and then she'll go to Louisiana, several stops, and then she'll be out in Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, and then she'll be in New York City. She goes all over the
boy.
country.
Yeah.
It looks
How
like.
did Andalusia get him? What group is this in Andalusia?
They're on our coattails.
The Dixon Center for Performing Arts.
Uh-huh. Well, I tell you what, Andalusia's a fine town, and they know quality, don't they?
Yeah, that's a lot of pride in Andalusia.
Yeah.
People from Andalusia think that's the best place in the world.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And, of course, that's a good way to be, especially at Christmas time. They really are big at that, aren't they?
You see some communities like Andalusia
Yeah.
and Monroeville and Abbeville, fine little towns that are not own an interstate.
That's right.
And so they have,
That's right.
so what they have to provide to themselves.
Exactly right. They had to make things happen.
You know, Troy, we have access on 231. We can scoot to Montgomery
That's
or
right.
Dothan. So you know, a lot of people.
You got to want to go to Andalusia.
Yeah, and you got to
You
want.
know, that's the way I go to the beach.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Now you're right, and thank goodness for those two brothers from Red Level have made that happen. Mike, do you know who I'm talking about? Foshi's. Yes, sir. Crum Foshi Highway, and he came out of Red Level, Alabama, and he wanted to make sure that highway enhanced the community of Red Level.
Yeah, and like in Monroeville, you can't get there.
That's right.
You know, if you want to go to Monroeville, you have to be in.
You got to want to go to Monroeville.
You're not going to pass through it. And Abbeville's about the same way.
That's right.
And all those little, not isolated. I don't want to say over, but those communities that don't live on the interstate. Find a lot of pride within themselves.
Think about it. Enterprise, of course, now it's a good way to go to the beach, but Enterprise is sort of set aside a little bit, and they made things happen. I was so impressed. I did a game down there. It's Friday night. Charles Henderson and Enterprise. They're beautiful, beautiful gymnasium, huge. It holds over 2,000. But their concert, their concert theater at Andalusia High School holds over 2,500 people.
Oh, you mean it?
Not
Enterprise. Well, what I'm saying, I'm talking about Enterprise.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
And it is a beautiful, beautiful place. And
I mean, I've seen a lot of high schools. Their high school's one of the nicest I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Isn't it like the biggest, or was the biggest in the state?
I want to say
It's
got
got to
2,400
be one of the biggest I've ever seen.
I think it has 2,400 students or something like that.
That's hard to believe.
Now, Gaston City is huge. The one they built up in Gaston is huge, and then of course Hoover High School. You know,
no telling how much money went into Enterprise High School. It looks like a college.
As much as they wanted.
No question about it. We're
of course,
promoting.
you know, you got to remember the tragedy that brought that brand new high
I know
school.
exactly.
Everybody will always remember.
Exactly right. And of course, Elba's new facilities, and they have a nice place to have entertainment and so forth. And
yeah, Simon Cowell, this is the guy that's considered one of the greatest judges of music in the world. Said this is about the act tonight. His comments about Mandy Harvey were breathtaking. Reminds me of the first time I heard Adele sing.
Wow,
that's a pretty amazing compliment.
Comparing her to Adele.
It doesn't get any better than that.
And we've got an opportunity, and you've got an opportunity to see her live tonight at the Claudia Crosby Theater.
Tonight, 7 o'clock, Claudia Crosby Theater. Come see
and you
Mandy
can
Harvey.
You can wear your blue jeans and your sport coat, or you can wear your tux, or you can wear anything you want to. This guy's going to look sharp. We still, no hot chocolate.
No, not tonight. It's too warm. It's going to be 70 degrees.
I'm joking.
It's going to be warm tonight.
I was just joking.
I know. It was snow flurries last week at this time.
Yeah.
You know, you've been to Broadway, and I bring this up because it's the truth. You know, those folks in those tuxedos and tails, you know, at Broadway every night of the week, you've got people going to see a Broadway show all dressed up in their tux and all that. And you know what they have to eat, Mike? They have to eat from those hot dog stands, those portable
street vendors.
And they get those hot dogs. That's tradition. For Broadway, that's tradition.
I love them.
To eat those hot dogs and then go into the theater, or go into the theater and at 12 o'clock on Broadway, it looks like it's a football game that just ended, because thousands of people are coming out of these theaters at 12 o'clock at night.
Street. Yeah.
And you know what?
All trying to get into the same cab.
And then another thing too, that's when a lot of them want to eat the hot dogs while they wait for the cab.
Yeah.
And of course, that's just part of Broadway.
Part of the experience.
Yeah, exactly right. And we're so fortunate to have this same opportunities right here in Troy, Alabama. And, you know, we were talking about Andalusia, we were talking about Enterprise, and they're great towns, don't get me wrong, but nobody can do it any better than Troy, Alabama.
No.
And every one of these towns look up to Troy, Alabama for what we provide our people.
Yeah, we're bringing, you know, Mandy Harvey, a television performing star, traveling the world, is going to be in Troy, Alabama tonight. So we're flexing our muscle tonight. So y'all come out, bring, like Mike said, you know, make a date night of it. Bring your child and see this beautiful young lady, deaf, award-winning singer, songwriter, inspirational speaker, live in Troy, Alabama tonight at Crosby
It's going to
Theater.
be a lot of fun. And, of course, again, tickets, you can buy them right there at the door. But if you can just make a phone call today, could they? Will that ticket office be open during the day?
No, we open about an hour before the
performance, and it should be a lot of fun. And this wonderful singer and songwriter, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, it's another product of the Troy Arts Council, and we're so privileged. And of course, you know, y'all work not only with the Troy Arts Council, but you work with the Colley Senior Center. You work with the Johnson Center for the Arts. I mean, y'all all work together on
We do.
things.
We do. We try to coordinate things, particularly with the Johnson Center. We have some of the same board members on both organizations, and we try to coordinate events, coordinate facilities. Bill Hopper's he's on chairman of the Johnson Center. He's also on the board.
He's involved, isn't he?
Yeah, and
he's also heads up the National Alumni Board too.
Yeah, and there's not a finer one than this community than Bill Hopper, and we try to coordinate our events, you know, to pool our resources, to make the most of it, and.
But you know, the word out there is culture. Troy Arts Council provides culture for its citizens.
You know, we have Division I college athletics, and
That's
gosh,
right.
I love that.
And we start that next weekend with 5 games with Central Michigan.
And but we need more than just the sports. You know, get out and support the teams, but get out and expose your children to these live performances of world-class entertainers,
Exactly right.
Artists like Mandy Harvey, deaf singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see her tonight.
Let me just tell you a couple of things, just quick things. All right, of course, we've got a basketball going on over at the Charles Simpson High School, girls basketball, and like I was saying, she's so good. This girl, the Davenport girl, is so good. I think she gets bored out there playing against some of the competition she has to play. But I think our team beat Enterprise by 50 the other night.
It's amazing how they just. I've never seen. You know, we talk about the UConn women's team and how they dominate.
Yeah.
Charles Henderson's girls basketball dominates more than any team I've ever seen.
And do you know that the final decision on whether she's going to be eligible or not will come the day before she starts playing?
It's the day before the Final Four starts in Birmingham.
The Final Four. And, of course, the great coach at Winona, Mike, died this past week.
Yeah.
He had won 4 of the last 5 state championships, and the only team to beat him was Charles Henderson.
Wow.
And but what I'm saying.
And also what's amazing to me is how well the team performed when the young Davenport lady was not playing.
Exactly right.
I mean,
they can maybe win it all without her.
That's right. They're good without her, but they're real good with her.
They are just nuclear.
But also, we've got coming up on Wednesday, as we mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, at the Stadium Club, Coach Chip Lindsey will be there to introduce his new coaching
This has got to be the most unique situation in college football, where Neil Brown recruited 17 of these guys before he left for West Virginia. So Chip Lindsey's maybe going to have 8 guys that his actual staff and he actually recruited. I mean, how unique is that?
I know it, no question about it. And one of them is a great tailback out of Florida that's transferring in here from Texas A&M.
Oh, really?
I don't know about his eligibility or anything of it, but you know,
he's a redshirt freshman, so I don't know if he'll be able to be.
But another thing, this is he's going to introduce his entire staff. Plus, he's going to break down every one of these recruits, show highlights on there. This is at the Stadium Club. There's going to be free food and free opportunity to meet these coaches and have a good time. That's Wednesday night. Then on Thursday night, we've got Troy University basketball going on. We got a big game Thursday night and Saturday night, and plus we've also got on that's in basketball, and then we've got some couple of
baseball starts the next weekend, doesn't it?
No, the baseball starts this week. Well, I mean, it does start the next weekend. You're right. It does start. It starts on the 14th and 15th against Western Michigan. That'll start baseball season. That's not this weekend.
They'll play Central Michigan, the Chippewas.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot going on this week, but it's the way it is all the time in Troy. There's something going on all the time. And then, of course, the great Mardi Gras Gala is this weekend out at the Cattlemen's Association building. That's going to be a fabulous event.
Yeah. There's always something going on in Troy.
Exactly
right. If you're bored in Troy, it's your own choosing.
You're exactly right, my friend.
Turn off the television, get off your couch, and go out and enjoy one of these live events.
We provide great entertainment, great culture, and
unique opportunities.
And you put all these great groups together, with the Troy Arts Council, and you've got a great community with a lot going on.
They had a reception. They have a new exhibit at the Johnson Center, pottery and the Troy Bank and Trust collection. And I went to that the other night. It's just wonderful. Spend 30 minutes strolling through there, seeing some of this magnificent artwork.
Yeah, I know.
And then you can go see a live performance tonight from someone who's been featured on television.
Yeah.
Or go to a ball game or man, there's to be such a small town, there's always something to do.
No question
about it. So get out and do it.
That's right. And of course, Joel, in between all this, you have to practice law, don't you?
I scratch out a living, try to pay the landlord and the secretary.
Well, and of course you do a great job.
You do a lot of hunting too, don't you?
I do a lot of walking around in the woods with a gun. You can't really call what
I
do.
didn't know that about Joel, Mike. I didn't know that about Joel.
Well, not a lot, but
I've seen Joel and Camo a few times.
Yeah. I do like to go, but I don't go very often.
Let me tell you what, Mike. Whatever he wears, he's gonna look good in it because he's a well-dressed fella. I'll tell you right now.
Well, I'm not too well dressed out in the woods, but
I tell you what, I don't think you're gonna kill too much when it's 70 degrees now.
How does it feel to work in an office that's well over 100 years old?
I love going to my office every day. I have a good two young ladies.
A great man sat back there. His name Bill Chapman. Do you remember him?
Mr. Chapman had his office up there, and I enjoy going to work every day.
Yeah.
I enjoy going downtown. I enjoy my office.
And you can smell that bacon from Bird Drugs.
They don't have to advertise. Just crank up the grill and that bacon.
And there's a bakery next to you that is wonderful.
Dolce.
And let me just tell you a little bit about this. And I'm always throwing in. I can't come up with a word right now, but I'm always coming up bragging about different things. But this is a big-time bakery in a small town.
Oh, absolutely. Well, my friend, Mr. Pullen, owns it, but he bought it from Jamie McDaniel.
Yeah.
And Jamie spent years in New York as a pastry chef.
Yeah.
And he's from Arrington.
I remember him.
He's from Arrington, and he had to come back home to take care of his aging father, and decided he wanted to open a bakery.
We're talking about a big-time bakery.
Yeah, like he had worked at in New York. And he said, I don't know why we can't have one in Troy, so he opened it.
But I have a hard time pronouncing it.
Dolce.
It's a French name.
I think it's Italian for sweet or sweet. I think it means sweet.
And it's wonderful. And I tell you what, I hear people every day raving on how good it is. And then, of course, right next door to you on the other side of you is Bird Drugs. And, of course, they've got wonderful breakfast. And I love the grits. And I take the bacon, Kelly's bacon, and I sprinkle it in my grits.
Always get me a bacon and egg sandwich.
Yeah, and I get me the hot toast and jelly, and boy, that's a good food.
Yeah. And listen, that's one for you. When I go to lunch or sometimes dinner, gosh, we don't ever drive anywhere. We walk to B. Graves or Mama Goldberg's or Sips.
And then Douglas Brothers down the street. And ladies and gentlemen, hear this now. People say, how do you know this and how you, whatever. Douglas Brothers was started in, 1872 or something like that?
I mean, it's on its way to 150 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Same family.
And then right across the street where Denny Sanford has his office was the old...
Rosenberg's.
Rosenberg's. And then across the street from that was First F&M Bank.
Yeah.
And that bank was built probably over 100 years old.
Oh, yeah,
at
it's
least.
way over 100 years old.
Still in downtown Troy. And the oldest, not the oldest building, but the oldest business in Troy is the Troy Messenger. I want to say 1861. Yeah, it was right there during the Civil War.
Yeah, 1861.
And of course, that business is still going good. Now, let me tell you this.
Well, that's something to be said. A lot of newspaper businesses aren't going well anywhere. I mean, Birmingham News runs 3 days a week.
Well, yeah. Troy had been fortunate to have a daily paper for a long time. Of course, the paper does not come out on Sundays or Mondays, but
they have that
weekend. The weekend comes in on Saturday. I'll tell you something else too.
When you were handed the key to a new build.
There we go. Have you got to be somewhere? You got to be in court?
I've got to be in court this morning, but I got a couple of minutes. I thought I'm over.
Listen, the guy you're going up against told me to hold on to you. Now,
I have to answer to the judge.
I do want to tell you this. There's a donut. It's called the Trojan Donuts on the bypass in Troy. It makes wonderful donuts every morning. Delicious donuts but they also have wonderful sandwiches.
Did you know
they've got a fried egg sandwich that will knock your socks off?
Did you know that Sips made donuts in the morning?
Sure, they do too.
Jamie gets there about 4 o'clock in the morning and start making donuts.
And it's delicious, and I'm going to go by there this morning. But they do also have donuts and cinnamon rolls and just wonderful donut or bakery products. But they have a fried egg sandwich.
Sounds good.
I'm talking about a fried egg sandwich that is, not a scrambled egg sandwich.
Right.
A fried egg sandwich with either bacon or
what kind
sausage.
Of bread? What kind of bread?
It's a delicious bread. It's a dough type bread. It's
like on a roll kind of.
Yeah, sort of like that. It's really, really good. It's a lot of sandwich. I promise you, it'll fill you up one sandwich. But they have sausage, bacon, and ham. And of course, if you want to get those donuts and take them to your office, but if you want just a delicious sandwich, try that.
Mike, with all the eating places that you plug, you must eat out every meal. Do you ever eat at home?
Well, I don't eat at home very much. You're right.
Yeah, well, we grew up eating out.
Well, not saying that my wife can't cook. Now she's a good cook, but we.
Your wife chooses not to cook.
We do enjoy eating out.
We eat out a lot too, but when there's just two people, and my wife's a magnificent cook. She's the best cook there's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, she should have her own TV show.
Yeah.
I'll come in from
when
the
are you
office.
going to invite me to eat with you, man?
We should. I tell you, I'll come in from
listen, somebody needs to brag on her,
She's great. She'll get mad at me. But
what was one of her great dishes?
Oh gosh, I can't even pronounce it. When we first got married, we had my mother over to eat with us, and my wife made some fancy dish, and my mother said, "Well, you cook stuff I didn't even know they sold in the store." Yeah,
and we're not going to mention any names, but a good friend of mine is moving right across the street from you if they hadn't already moved. And of course, Steve Flowers is your across the street neighbor too.
Yeah.
And of course, you see Steve quite a bit.
Don't ever see Steve. I think he stays on the road.
He's on television up here in Birmingham.
That's right. He is on. And of course, when he is in town, though, he loves to walk the streets and so forth.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to mention Troy's men and women fell to South Alabama over the weekend.
Yeah, they did. And I watched it on TV.
The men were up by 12.
I was going to say they had a big lead.
And I tell you what, they're struggling right now. Bernardo only scored 16 points, but
and he didn't look, Mike. He looked slow. He looked like he wasn't feeling well or something. I don't know what it was.
The shocker though was the Lady Trojans, who were 16-3, got beat by South Alabama as well. And then Auburn absolutely destroyed Alabama in Auburn in basketball, won by 21, and were up by 28 at one time. I tell you what, Bruce Pearl has dominated Alabama in Auburn. The average win is 22 points a game when Alabama travels to Auburn to play Auburn in basketball.
Yeah, amazing. Now they'll play them again later on in the year.
Later in the season, but Alabama's on the bubble, and Auburn, has been underachieving the last several weeks. But I tell you what, if they shoot like they shot against Alabama the other night, they're going to beat a lot of people.
Well, and then I wanted you to know too on the I want to say it's the 23rd. Troy gets South Alabama back at home. Both the girls and the boys. That's going to be a big game. That'll be on the 23rd of February of this month. So they'll catch them at home before the playoffs. So that should be fun. This Troy team is capable, Mike, but it doesn't seem like all of the players are in sync every week. Right. You have one guy that'll get on fire, but nobody else is on fire.
I mean, we talk about this all the time. They don't play any defense. I heard a coach a long time ago talk about, all play defense is effort. That's what defense is showing effort. And you give up over 80 points a game playing, conference play in basketball, you're not going to beat anybody.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to guard.
Yeah.
You got to guard.
Well, and like the other night in Enterprise, Joel, we went down and did the game live in Enterprise. Enterprise High School hit 15 threes, Mike.
Yeah.
15 threes, that's a lot for a high school.
Well, the other night I was watching.
Another thing is fan support. I mean, Troy does not get fans to go to games.
You ought to see it in Enterprise.
South Alabama had 5,000 people at that game.
It was impressive. And let me tell you, a big crowd from Enterprise at that game, too, to represent Enterprise over Charles Henderson. But, just like the old saying, though, you remember when Troy scored 258 points?
I was at that game.
Just tell somebody sometime that you were at a game where, I was at a game where I saw a team make 52 3-pointers, which is more impressive than scoring 258 points. A Troy team scored that in a basketball game. It's a record that probably will never be broken, but they don't talk about it enough. It is unreal that Troy scored 120 points in the first half.
Hey, Coach, I was at that game.
I was too.
It was like on a Saturday afternoon.
That's right.
And there weren't
anybody there.
There weren't 100 people there. And the halftime score, we had over 100 points.
120 points at half.
And I thought to myself, they got a chance to hit 200.
Yeah.
Well, they scored more in the second half than they did the first half.
The final score was 258 to 147. The other team had a guy
that was going to happen, though, because they had scored 169 against Nebraska the year before.
Yeah, we knew that, yeah. But still, at the same time, people say, no defense, no defense. Then turn around and say, how about 52 3-pointers? Go out there and start shooting with your team and see how long it takes you to make 52 3-pointers.
It was a sight. It was like watching a practice.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
You don't make that many threes in a practice.
And people, it went across the nation.
Well, they had two guys from Kentucky. They had Steve Hunt, Bronson.
That's right. They scored a bunch of points.
From three.
Yeah.
And then you had a guy named Terry McCord that's probably the greatest player in Troy history.
He was a great one.
They had unbelievable players on that team.
Yeah, that could shoot the three. And
that team went to Auburn one night and scored 130, but Auburn scored 150.
That's right. I remember that well. No question about it. We got a call coming in. Let me put you on hold here a second, Mike. If I can see, I'll put it on hold. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. It's Will Matthews.
Will Matthews. How you doing, my friend? Let me put you on hold a second. I'll bring Mike in. And I think that did it. Are you on? Which one are you on?
You got me.
I don't have my glasses on, so I don't see very well. All right, here we go. All right, we got you now. Will, you on?
I'm here.
That's a lot of buttons. I couldn't do it.
And I still haven't done it yet. Hold on 1 second here. All right, there we are. We got both of you now, don't we?
We lost somebody.
I've got them both now.
Oh, okay.
Will, you on? Hey, Mike. Hey, are you all on?
Just talk to Will.
All right, wait a minute. Will on, though. He's coming on right now. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Will, are you on? That sounds like him. That's him right there. Michael, are you on too? All right, Michael jumped off. Will Matthews is on. Tell us about the Super Bowl.
Well, those people that paid $4,000 or $5,000 for a ticket, I know they're not happy.
Maybe they like defense, Will.
I got Joel Williams on the line, Will.
Yeah, that's the worst. That thing was like watching paint dry.
Yeah, I know, but hey, you must have had over. Did you have over?
No, I had under.
Oh man, you won then, didn't you?
Yeah, I won. I had under.
But anybody that questions that Brady is not the greatest quarterback of all time, he played maybe his worst game and they still won.
Yeah.
Well, he looked like Jay Coker yesterday.
Oh, yeah. He won. I think he'll admit that he didn't play his best game, but, hey, when it counted, brother, you don't want to bet against him, I tell you.
Well, when Gronkowski caught that ball down at the goal line, it was over.
But is he a great player? Whoa.
Now that was a good throw. He dropped that one in the bucket.
He sure did. He sure did.
Yeah.
And he and his little receiver, the guy most valuable player, they're best friends. Now, I don't know if y'all saw it at the game. They're best friends. And let me tell you something. This guy probably couldn't start for any other team, but he could play with Brady. He knows exactly what Brady's going to do.
He liked that kid at Clemson.
That's right.
You know what he's got in common with Nick Saban?
What, winning?
No. They both played at Kent State.
What, he and the little wide receiver?
Yeah, Edelman was Kent State.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. But I tell you what, and he looked like Willie Booger. Oh, God, he's got a huge beard, and you couldn't even hardly see his face. But he didn't care how he looked. All he wanted to do was achieve, didn't he?
Yeah, and he did. It just shows me that the Rams, you can't win at football if you can't run it.
You got to be able to run it.
And they gave up trying to run it in a close game, and that's what lost it for them.
You know, we were talking about it earlier. It almost looked like New England had their playbook, or they have the quarterbacks have a radio in their helmet, and they can hear what the offense coordinator's talking back and forth. It seemed like in that game that New England had that radio.
Yeah.
It seemed like they knew exactly what they were going to do.
Yeah, it looked like they knew the snap count because they were getting off the ball.
And you know something, Will, that anybody looking at this game going in, it was just a 3-point difference in the line. Who would have thought Goff could win a Super Bowl right off the bat, as young as he is?
Yeah.
Don't you agree, Will?
I thought he'd score more than 3 points.
Boy, no question. I mean, you could tell that I could tell New England was going to win the game, even though they were messing around like they were. But
the Rams absolutely could not do anything offensively. I bet they didn't have 200 yards the whole game.
It was terrible. All right, now back to what you said to begin with. What does somebody have to pay to go to that game? If you went to the game in person,
I would be throwing up if I spent any kind of money to go.
But what kind of money was it? Do you know?
$4,000 or $5,000 a ticket.
A ticket? Can you believe that?
Yeah.
The NFL made a bunch of money, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but the people that this secondary market's the ones that make the money. But the face value on those tickets is $1,500.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's offensive.
That was crazy. No question about
offensive.
it. It is, no question about it. But Will, now you got to go to court, don't you?
Yeah,
are you in good shape?
Yeah, I got a couple of minutes.
I got to go to court, but I got 5 minutes.
And of course, you and Joel go head to head in court much?
Mike, the only people that go to a Super Bowl are rich people and people that win contests.
and half of them don't know anything about football, do they, Will?
And I have been twice. I won 2 all-expense-paid Super Bowls.
Yeah. Do you know, my wife and I were driving back from the beach, and I was running a little bit late, so I was listening to someone. I was telling my wife, I said, there's no game in sports anywhere ever that promotes tailgating and promotes Super Bowl parties. There were more individual parties, Super Bowl parties,
watching parties,
than any other sporting event ever.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
That's true. Well, one thing, it's a single event.
Yeah.
Like the World Series, you could have 7
That's
games.
right, exactly.
In the NBA, you could have 7 games.
Yeah.
But
the Super Bowl parties are the biggest parties out there. Yeah.
Guess what time my Super Bowl party ended last night?
What time?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Good Lord.
And where were you?
I was in Hartford playing dominoes.
Oh, gosh.
1 o'clock in the morning.
You were playing dominoes and watching the game at the same time?
Yeah.
Did you win any money?
Oh, yeah. I did.
Well, I tell you what, nobody loves dominoes like you, I promise you.
I love it.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling this morning. We'll be seeing you.
See you, man.
That's Will Matthews, attorney, and of course with the Matthews Law Firm in Ozark, Alabama. Joel Williams is. We're talking again about this wonderful production tonight. Mandy Harvey, one of the top singers in the country, I'd say, will be here
tonight, 7 o'clock. Claudia Crosby Theater. The Troy Arts Council presents Mandy Harvey. She was on America's Got Talent. She was a finalist, and she's totally deaf, but sings, writes and sings her own music, and she's magnificent. So you come out to see her tonight at 7 o'clock.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there, and I'm looking forward to it. And of course, again, one of the outstanding events each year brought to us by the Troy Arts Council. And Joel, we appreciate you, my
Appreciate
friend.
you, Coach. Appreciate everything you do.
Of course, you're gonna be the MC tonight, aren't you?
Well, I'll introduce her, and then I'll get out of the way. You won't see me anymore.
Well, I tell you what, everybody appreciates you and what you do for our community, and of course, a lot of people reap great benefits from being able to see top performers every year through the
rare opportunity.
Troy Arts Council.
Get out and enjoy it tonight.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile. You saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Tori Dunn from Dixie Trails. You get your truck washed here?
I sure do.
Really, Dunn? I know you're not bringing them cow trucks over here.
I do, and they're like me when I leave.
Loretta, what are you doing?
Getting my car detailed.
At Trojan Detail, we do it all.
At Cost Plus 10%, we offer your favorite brands at the best price. At Piggly Wiggly, we keep it simple. We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our good friends at Goldfinger's Chicken, right there next to Publix on the bypass right in Troy. Boy, that is delicious chicken, and also got one of the best hamburgers you'll find anywhere. I want to mention also Circle Insurance in Ozark, my good friend Sam Judah, and one of the largest insurers in Dale County, been around a long time. They have a lot of insurance products to choose from. Also, I want to mention our good friends at Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Strength, Dr. Damon Strength, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama. Of course, we got a lot going on this week. We've got, of course, the concert tonight at Claudia Crosby Theater. We've got basketball going on. Troy University's got games on Thursday and on Saturday, and also a big Troy Athletic Department program on Wednesday at the Stadium Club, where Coach Chip Lindsey will introduce himself and his staff, and also we'll mention all of the signees and tell a little about them, maybe show some footage of some of these players that Troy signed in football this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be on Wednesday night. And then, of course, we've got several things going on throughout the week in Troy, Alabama. You're watching us on Facebook Live from Troy. That's our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama. I hope you've had a great weekend and you're looking forward to another great week in our great town. And, of course, we appreciate all of the people in our community that make it such an outstanding place to live. I hope that you've enjoyed today's show, brought to you by some great people, Earl's Auto and Glass on South Brundage Street. And, of course, Rusty Earl's been around a long time, does a great job. Cinco Drugs, and, of course, Charles Cinco is the druggist that's owned by Walt and Kristen Sanders, and we appreciate them very much. And the Withington Group, remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. See Johnny Withington or see Perry Green with Allstate right here in Troy. And, of course, Quality Roofing, Jeff, no better roofer anywhere than Jeff. And, of course, he does a super job with roofing throughout Pike and surrounding counties. Of course, season tickets for Troy baseball is on sale at the ticket office at Troy University, starting at $95. What a deal that is, to be able to see 32 home baseball games for $95, and that is a great deal at Troy University. And of course, Troy University will have another very good baseball team to watch this spring. Of course, we appreciate you very much for watching our show. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early, for Today in LA.